Okay, John, how you doing today?
Oh, it could be better, Nick. You know I've got COVID. Do you know that?
Of course, I know.
But
How many days have you been stuck in
I've
your
only got,
room?
yeah, it's been 10 days now. I've got 3 more days. I'm not 10, 7 days now. I've got 3 more days to go.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Yeah, can't wait. Get some fresh air in my lungs.
Yeah, so have you been getting your dinners brought up to you?
Oh, yes, my lovely Denise has been like amazing, coming up and down the stairs, leaving it on the balcony, on the, what do they call it? The landing, not coming near me, 10 feet away.
Silver service then.
Yeah, best service. Even get a beer a day, so it's good.
So that keeps it away then. A beer.
Never been down the stairs. Never been seen. Luckily, I've got 2 rooms. One for this room, which is a wee TV room. It's Joe's room, Denise's grandson, and I've got all my football strips, even my last one from MK Dons.
Oh, very nice.
Celtic was my first, and
Yeah.
then that one there. And I've got England strips somewhere, but everywhere else is with somebody that's quite close to me. He's
So
got the lot.
I've got to
Oh
apologize.
yeah, it's you. That's right. You've got them all. Yeah.
I feel an apology is in order. I on the last video said you'd only played for Spurs 5 times.
Yes, that was very kind of you. It was bad enough that I only played 32 times, and I always feel embarrassed when I go there and the lads call me a legend and all that, and people are going, "Oh, I'm not a legend," because I was unlucky enough that I played 16 games, got a really bad injury, and I was out for 18 months. Then another 16 games, and Birkinshaw, who I must admit I respected very much, asked me to be coach, 29. I said, you sure? So that's when I went to America, and I was gutted to leave Spurs because that was the time when I got to the final that season, and of course, lucky old me, but I got to a final soccer bowl in America, which was not as big, but at least it was a final.
Well, yeah, you proved that you could still play. And
I actually played 200 odd games in America, and then indoor professionally, obviously with the Rowdies because they did it in the winter. And then I was transferred to Phoenix, and I played loads of indoor games with Phoenix, and before the team folded, and I was about 35. So I had quite a good career in America, which nobody really understands. It's like it never happened, because it's in England, there's only one when you put it in all these brochures and whatever it says. It says statistics. They hardly count that day games. But I would have played a lot more in England if Keith had just been a bit more patient.
yeah, I just saw an old Spurs program, and it's amazing to see the likes of Clemens, Goff. Sorry, they just played one match after the other all the way through.
Yeah.
No,
Well, sorry, so my teammate, obviously Glenn, had a lot before he was transferred, but somebody like Stevie Perryman and John Pratt, especially Stevie, he never ever got an injury. He was like, how he never got injured the way he tackled, I don't know. John Pratt was the same. He played more games, 400 games or something, you know. So it's just your luck in football. People don't realise that. It's times they give a lot of criticism to people who get injured, like Gareth Bale at the minute. It's just, that's part of football. Some players are lucky, some players aren't. Yeah,
that's another thing as well. Back then, the treatment, you never, like Diego Maradona, all the kicks that he got,
Yeah.
He never had obviously the treatment that they get today.
Oh,
and
it's
yourself.
laughable. That would take too long to go into all the treatments that we got. When I was a player, it was like at Carlisle, we used to put a red light on you. It wasn't even a real heating machine. And you know what it was like when I come back from a stomach injury. I used to get injections in my pubic bone. Can you imagine I'm getting that now to play a game of football? There's no chance.
Could you just give us a few of your injuries?
Oh, too many. You know that. I mean, when I was young, I broke my arm badly, fell off a house. When I was players, I've had terrible. I used to have terrible injuries at Celtic on my ankle. Just couldn't real. And then I had a couple of times where I got poison in my skin. I had to be rushed to hospital to get on the drip, and so that wasn't too good. And then Carlisle, I had this really bad, which was really annoying injury because I was at my best. Had stomach injury where it was, like I said, I used to get injections in my pubic bone because it was. It became the hernia, Gilmore's groin, they called it in the end. But at that time, we didn't get an op for things like that. We used to get traction and things, and we just played. You played with the injury. You were so stupid. You thought that you had to play, and you played, even though your injury should have stopped us. You know, getting back to Carlisle, you were going to ask me some. Obviously, there's something I want to talk about today.
Yeah, you started off at Carlisle. You left Celtic 1970.
By the way, when I left Celtic. Yeah, wee rascal. We'll talk about Celtic another day. But I was actually, a lot of people are really get annoyed with that as well. I was transferred for £15,000 with a young reserve, which was actually quite a lot of money then. And I went to Carlisle, who I didn't really want to go, but that's another story. We'll talk about that when we get to the Celtic days.
Yeah, definitely. We'll come back to that.
Today we want to talk about Carlisle United.
Yeah, that's it. It's a place where my sister and I were born.
Exactly. So, yeah.
So why don't I have any kits these days?
That's a good question, actually. And the reason is because they wouldn't give you any. Because even when we got promoted, it was like Dick Young in particular, who was obviously Alan Ashman was a manager, Dick Young and Hugh Neal, who died actually. He was a great player before. He got killed in a car crash scouting, believe it or not, going up to Scotland. And they would be so tight with things, they wouldn't allow you. I even told you today, we used to, for the whole week, even in the top league we got promoted, we used to, our kit wasn't washed till the end of the week. It was once a week, and we used to wear the same. Can you imagine the socks? They were like so stiff. You used to hit them on to get them all the mud out of them and that to use them the next day. And we used to wear the same kit for the whole week, man. So times have changed, haven't they? You know.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
so,
but
be to save a few bob, would it?
But they wouldn't allow you to take a strip home or that. No chance. You know?
No.
So you needed the strip for the next game.
Sure. So Dick Young, he was one of your inspirations as a coach, wasn't he? I remember you telling me.
Oh, Dick Young is the best coach I've ever worked with and seen. I mean, I became Dick anyway when I became a coach. I just became just like him. I never thought, we used to call him the Silver Fox, and I ended up being the Silver Fox myself when I was coaching. And but Dick, just all the habits. The only thing is, he used to do that every day. Les O'Neill and me, I think Les has got a better dimension now because I keep telling him, and he keeps telling me the same story he told me yesterday. You know,
right.
I told him the day he phoned up the Carlisle press, and I could have a word with him about Mike Sutton, you know, and then the phone rang back, and he goes, "Hello, is that Carlisle, whatever it's called, the paper, you know, the Tribute or something?" And I went, "It's me. You've just phoned. I've just been speaking to you. Phoned me by mistake, you know." But he's doing all right.
Many balls though, did he, John? Les?
What, Nick?
Les never headed that many balls, did he?
Yeah, he did actually. He was brilliant with his head. He used to score a lot of goals with his head. He was like, he'd pop up into the box. It was amazing. I've just lost you, Nick. Somebody's trying to get through and get rid of them.
Yeah, you're still there.
Right. Yeah, somebody's trying to get through.
Oh, yeah, John, on a serious note, you surprised me today because I was reading a column, Chris Sutton's column, and he said his dad was obviously on his own a little bit more because of the lockdown, and he was fearful with the situation we have now. But then you shocked me today. I never heard the news until you said about Mike.
He passed away. Really sad because, well, I can only think back to when I came down from Celtic, just 20, coming up to 21. and Mike took me under his wing, you know, and Chris Balderstone and the experienced players. But Mike was such a gentleman, Nick. He was like, I keep in touch with Stan Ternant as well. We lost his wife and his son. Terrible, really. But we text each other today, and obviously Les and whoever I could get a hold of at Carlisle, not many left. And anyway, cut a long story short, you know, Mike, I just loved him. He was just such a nice human being. He would be so helpful, and he was a good player as well, you know, a midfielder. And but he just used to be so calm, Nick. He would tell you to, you know, don't worry about that, and do this and do that and all that. And he really helped me when I first got there. I was with him for about 2 seasons, and he got transferred to Chester, I think, or somewhere, you know. But he missed out on us getting promotion and things. But I always thought about him. In fact, I told a story to Chris, actually, his boy. I left a message for him, and he was when Chris was with youth team at Norwich. Mike was worried about him because he felt he wasn't getting the right coaching and the right person, and he called me Orient, and he asked me to take him to Orient, and I said, "Oh no, he's too good for Orient," you know. Really? And I was right, you know. And that was when he was, because I'd seen him playing. He used to play centre half, you know. He was a young player. And then John, I coached John as well somewhere. I can't remember, it was Wickham, but I definitely worked with John as well, and he ended up playing up in Scotland as well with Motherwell and different teams, you know. I think he actually played with
Mike, with you. I think I remember meeting Mike once with
you. He would have done, Nick. You definitely, and but he was just a gentleman. And he used to be one of the ones that looked after his body as well. Everybody used to take the mickey out of him because he was ahead of his time, really, because he was always giving people, you know, trying to say, you should eat this and do this, and you're all going, what? You know, and nobody would be listening to him. But now, he was ahead of his time. He was a fantastic guy, and I feel for his family, his wife, who I knew, and he's got two daughters, and obviously Chris and John. And I'd like to pass on my condolences. I don't suppose they'll be listening to this, but if they do, but just to tell them that we're thinking about them, you know.
Very nice. Yeah, that'd be nice if they did hear that from you.
Yeah.
A great guy.
And from Les and from everybody in the game that knows Mike, you know, Stan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Any more Carlisle stuff? It was obviously the one I was there. Great. You've got some stuff about them, haven't you? Programs and things.
Yeah. Well, I've got a good book about Carlisle United, the golden era. Carlisle.
That's good. Yeah.
And it's actually in the tunnel. You guys coming out at Stamford Bridge.
Yeah, first game. Yeah.
Les scored in that game, didn't he?
Les scored a fluke, and so did Big Bill Green. And Bill's gone now, or no, he's left us. Keep in touch with his wife Pauline. You know, it's very sad that Big Bill was captain. You know.
I think I can see you, the third one in front of. Yeah.
I need my glasses, but I can remember the picture actually. That's me. Yeah.
That's definitely you, because you're tugging your sleeves down, Corey, like
yeah,
that.
Dennis Law. I was like Dennis Law, but wish I could score like him.
There's a team picture as well.
Yeah, it's funny. Somebody else today, I should put my glasses back on. Somebody else, let me see that one again. Somebody else sent me today, my friend that we met on cruise, Pete and Marnie. Pete sent me, oh yeah, I'm there sitting with Ray Train on my right side, Les beside me, Big Bill captain, Peter Carr, and Bobby Parker, yeah. And there's, Dick Young's in that, Hughie Neal. It was a great team, Nick. Chris Balderstone, what a player he was. He would be.
Yeah, I remember Chris Baldy, because I remember you taking me to watch him umpire a cricket match as well.
That's right. He used to come and save money and come and stay with me and Mum. He used to come down to places like Maidenhead, and he would is it Maidenhead? It's not Maidenhead. Maidstone. Maidenhead. Maidstone's the one that was near us in Gillingham, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right. I remember.
Yeah, and Baldy used to be umpire for England, and he played for England as well.
Played as well, didn't
Cricket. Yeah. He was a bit like Glenn as a player, Nick. He had 2 feet, unbelievable. And he was just as good at cricket, and he was just as good at golf. He had everything. Yeah.
he was a bit of a maverick, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got Baldy's benefit match.
Signed as well, eh? That's a lovely one, yeah.
Actually, inside is a nice eulogy from Ron Atkinson in there. Nice.
Yeah, he must have coached them, did he? Yeah. Played for Huddersfield. Yeah.
Words. It wouldn't have been a eulogy by then. At that point.
No, he wasn't dead by then.
No, it was.
That was his testimonial.
Yeah, it was a foreword. Sorry. Slip of the tongue. But yeah, there's a great picture in here. I'll find it of you. But in the meantime, I do apologise for the reference of only 5 appearances for Spurs when it was how many? 32.
32. And what happened was that I would have played a lot more than 32. I would have played 232. But it's just like I said, when you get a bad injury, there's nothing you can do. Well, no, I've got.
Play for Carlisle. I always like to tell people you're a bit of a legend at Carlisle because you played over 150 games.
300 games nearly, yeah. But that's the difference, isn't it? But to be fair, at Carlisle, had 3 great seasons, player of the year 3 times, but the rest of the time, I'm surprised the fans liked me because I wanted away. I was arrogant little boy, and I always felt I was too good. I always thought I should be playing like when we got relegated back to the Championship, which would be second division then, Championship now. I thought I don't want to be here. I'm too good. I should be playing. And then I got my move to Tottenham, which was fantastic, like to play at Spurs. You know what I mean? But and then play with players like Ardiles and Villa and Glenn and Stevie Perriman, Pat Jennings, you name it. It was it was a great experience. Yeah.
Sure, I know. I always remember that story you tell me when, say, you would be on the halfway line as soon as, say, Pat Jennings would catch the ball from a cross.
No, but that was actually Alan Ross.
All right.
When I was at Carlisle. But as the ball was coming over, I just know that Rossi was going to get it. Well, by the time he got it, I was already on the halfway line waiting for the throw. But then when I got to Tottenham, my first game, I'm playing against Bristol City in my debut, and I says to Big Pat Jennings, who's a legend, like, "Hey Pat," I says, "you don't know me, but I know you. So every time you get the ball, just give it to me." And he looked at me as if to say, "What?" That was Pat's favourite. What? And and then I was shouting and screaming for the ball, and he would just launch it about 100 yards, And he used to kick it for miles, and I used to go, "Oh, we'll never get a pass here,"
So you would get the ball off of Rossi a lot then.
Yeah, but Big Pat learned. He soon learned, Big Pat, to give us it. But he'd been used to playing with better than me, Cyril Knowles and the likes, and Martin Chivers up front, so he could lump it up front, and they would get a wee flick on Gilzane and Chivers and all that,
It was a different style of play then when you changed clubs.
Yeah, well, Tottenham still played push and run. They were supposed to be, but Glenn once went to watch Carlisle playing when we were in the big leagues, the first division, and he couldn't believe it. He talked to me about it. He said we were supposed to be in the muddy pitch as well, hardly any grass. And he's Carlisle. We played them off the park at Tottenham. We drew 1 each, but we were all over them. And Glenn was like, "What's going on? This is this team coming up like Leeds are doing now. You know what I mean? And passing it for fun." Like we did with Swindon, Nick, when you were at Swindon.
Yeah.
That's another story, Swindon, isn't it? We've got to talk about.
Yeah, we'll come to that. But I think that's enough for now. Should I leave you with this?
Was that Les and me? Oh, yeah, Les, Alan Ashman, me, Bobby Owen. That was when we got promoted with Carlisle, yeah. That was a great day, great memory. We still talk about it, obviously. That was when Aston Villa lost and... Orient, and we went up on a Friday night. Yeah. So,
nice. Okay.
So is that
brilliant?
All right? Okay.
That was great.
Well, that's nice to get things straightened out now, and now I can sleep at night.
You know, I was only pulling your leg.
Oh, yeah. You're all right. You've got some nice memorabilia there. I'll have to have a look at it one day with you.
Yeah, tonight I'm doing a little segment on the French football. So
Jesus.
I'm gonna show
Monaco with Glenn.
I'm gonna show Glenn's shirt.
Yeah. When you were there, you can when we went to the game and we went to see Scotland playing as well, stayed at Glenn's house. That's another good memory.
Great memories, yeah. The time we got tickets off of Arsene Wenger, didn't we?
Arsene Wenger, he was really nice. Went to training, you were with me, and went and watched them training, and he was right up beside him, talking to him, and he gave us the tickets for the game, Scotland and Brazil. Only Brazil. Yeah.
How long was that before he came to Arsenal, and no one really knew?
Well, not long.
Did they?
Might have been a wee bit long, because he did go to Japan first, didn't he?
That's right, Grand Passate, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll look into that next. I'm going to do a little segment now on the French football.
Well, make sure you
wearing the French shirt.
Right. Make sure you get all your facts right about how many games I played for Monaco.
I'm not that far away from the truth. I'm sure it was 5. Wouldn't have been 5 league games, would it?
No, Nick, shut up. Don't go back to that again and make me feel bad. 20 odd league games, 20 and a few cup games. Hey,
yeah, it's never 5 goals.
No, five at Carlisle.
Yeah, that's right.
Scored for the reserves at Spurs.
I know.
That was a good one. Peter Shreves was another guy that I rated highly, and he actually said to me, I was told by Keith Birkinshaw that I had to quit because of my injury and all. I went, what? And then the next day, team sheet goes up, and I'm playing against QPR in reserves at White Hart Lane, and Shreves said, "Would you mind playing in midfield, John? Because you're leaving." And I was going to Tampa. I went, "Oh, yeah, no problem." Scored as well, so it was a good way to finish,
Yeah, they must have thought, "Oh, what have we done here? We shouldn't."
No, he made a mistake.
Yeah, that's it. It's.
I still love Berkey. He's still hanging on there. He's a lovely gentleman, but I know he felt bad about it afterwards. But that's the way it was then. If you were injured, they would just get somebody else to take your place.
Couldn't be as patient, could they then?
No, they just went out and bought Jimmy Holmes.
But
My mate.
Welcome there, aren't you, at Spurs?
Oh no, they've always been great. And Daniel Levy now, I'm very welcome, especially after I've done his painting. I should have showed you that picture. Daniel's dream, the stadium, and he was over the moon with it. Yeah.
We'll do one from your studio, and you can show us the artwork.
Yeah, but the problem was the studio. Everyone's know me. I'm Mr. Charity. Loads of the paintings are out, and then some commissioned, and most of them are out just of friends and stuff like that. But I've got a shop that's full of my paintings that I could show you.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. Well, once this COVID gets over and we can get out in the street again.
Yeah. Well, I hope the symptoms stay away as well, and they're mild.
It's been lovely talking to you.
Okay, Dad.
Mate. Tell the kids and Jay, give Denise is asking for them.
I will do.
I love you. Bye.
Take care. Love you, mate. Bye.